May 1986. After an unexpected week traveling across Britain while waiting for an Indian visa, I flew east and arrived in Islamabad, Pakistan, the true beginning of my overland journey across South Asia. Near a mosque and the colorful bus stands where vehicles depart for every corner of the country, I began meeting locals and experiencing Pakistan for the first time. I even witnessed a circus being set up, and in one of those unforgettable travel moments of youth, found myself dancing with a bear. That was my introduction to Pakistan, spontaneous, unpredictable, and completely alive. But the real journey was still ahead of me. From Islamabad, I headed north toward the Karakoram Mountains, following what was then one of the most remote international roads in the world, the Karakoram Highway. Today it is famous among travelers and motorcyclists, but in 1986 it still felt like the edge of the known world. Transportation was simple. Small vans and minibuses carried passengers, luggage, and sometimes animals. Whenever possible, I climbed onto the roof. It wasn't exactly comfortable, but it gave a clear view of the valleys, the rivers, and the towering mountains around us. The farther north we went, the more the landscape changed. Cities disappeared. Villages became smaller and farther apart. Roads were narrow, dusty, and sometimes barely carved into the side of the cliffs. Gilgit, when I first saw it, was not really a town in the modern sense. It felt more like a rural settlement. Quiet streets, small shops, and open land surrounding the houses. Hunza was even more striking. Stone homes, fields, irrigation channels, and a pace of life that seemed unchanged for generations. Travelers were rare. Foreign visitors were uncommon. People were curious, welcoming, and often surprised to see someone from so far away passing through their community. Eventually, I reached the Chinese border. At that time, there was almost nothing there. Just a sign, a plaque, and the high mountains stretching in every direction. It didn't feel like a geopolitical frontier. It felt like the end of the road. Hunza is not just a scenic mountain valley. For most of history, it was an independent mountain kingdom, isolated high in the Karakoram range along ancient trade routes linking Central Asia, China, and the Indian subcontinent. Caravans once passed through here carrying silk, salt, precious stones, and ideas between worlds. Because of its strategic position, Hunza was ruled for centuries by local leaders known as the Mir of Hunza. Overlooking the valley is Baltit Fort. Parts of the structure are believed to be more than 700 years old, though it was expanded and rebuilt over time. The architecture reflects Tibetan and Central Asian influence. Thick stone walls, wooden balconies, and narrow windows designed both for defense and for the harsh mountain climate. For generations, the ruling family lived here, governing a small but important state that maintained a delicate balance between powerful neighbors. China to the north, Central Asian Khanates to the west, and later the British Empire to the south. Hunza did not become part of Pakistan until 1974. So when I arrived in 1986, the memory of the old princely state was still very recent, and the valley retained a feeling of autonomy and traditional life that was already beginning to disappear elsewhere. Standing below the fort, it was easy to imagine caravans, traders, and travelers passing through these mountains long before modern roads ever reached the valley. Nearly 40 years later, in 2025, I returned. This time, I rode the same route by motorcycle during a 44-day journey across Pakistan. The difference was astonishing. The towns had grown. New buildings had appeared. Parts of the highway had been rebuilt, though in the north many sections were still rough and under construction. And the border itself had transformed completely. Where once stood only a simple marker, now there are large buildings, checkpoints, and even tourism infrastructure. Visitors come specifically to see it. But something important had not changed. The mountains were the same. The rivers followed the same paths. My last major stop was Lahore, a historic city of Mughal architecture, crowded streets, and vibrant daily life. From there, in 1986, it was still possible for foreign travelers to cross the land border directly into India. By the time I reached New Delhi, I had become seriously ill with stomach problems and severe diarrhea, something many overland travelers experienced in those days. I spent several days in a dark hotel room recovering, barely seeing the city at all.
If you would like to know more about my experience over the past 5 decades, learning and using more than 30 languages around the globe, with adventures in 101 countries so far, then please visit my website, polyglotdreams.com. There you will find my memoir, A Life in 30 Languages, translated in various languages and integrated with audio and dual readers to offer a great way to improve your target languages.